Hey, everybody, it's Merritt with Master of One Coaching, and I'm coming live today to share with you a quick story. You may have seen this on my post yesterday, but I wanted to share with you something that happened over the weekend that was, to me, an amazing example of determination. Now, full disclosure, I'm a little biased here because this is about my kid. It's not just about my kid, but it's about my kid and some other people. Okay, so here's what happened. My kid, my oldest, he's 18, he's a senior in high school, and he has had a lot of challenges in his life. He's had to overcome a lot. So is already an amazing example of resilience to me and to many people who know him. And he has dyslexia, which is a double deficit, which means that he's got kind of a double wallop of dyslexia and what it means to have dyslexia. He was adopted by myself and my first husband, really before he was born. And then again, when my first husband passed away, he was adopted by my now husband, who is his dad now, Tom. And we've moved several times. And the kid has just had a lot to deal with in his life, right? So, and of course, on top of that, COVID. So around 7th grade, we landed here where we are now in the Hudson Valley. When he was about 3rd grade, we found our place. We're now in our town. And he was about 6th grade. 7th grade, the kid starts running on the track team. Kind of unbeknownst to me. I mean, he said he was going to go run, but I was like, okay. Now, caveat to this is that he actually, when he was born, but before he really walked, he ran. Like he was running from pretty much the moment he could stand up. He was running. But I didn't put that together till later. So he goes and he starts running when he's in 7th grade. And I don't think much of it because I'm like, I'm not much of a runner. I don't connect with it. Like it's not my jam. And he actually says, don't come to my meets. I don't want you there. It's embarrassing. I'm embarrassed, Mom. I'm super embarrassing, in case you didn't know. Okay, so he's running. He does track. He does cross country. And then he gets to high school, and they have this program in indoor track in the Northeast. So it's for cold winter months. You can do something inside, indoor track. Okay. Spring, March, right, of his freshman year, everything shuts down, and he stops running. He tries to go for a little bit, but he gets really depressed. His grades go to pot. He basically shuts down, and he doesn't run all of his sophomore year. And in his freshman year in cross country, he was like coming in first and second in meets, or he'd be like, oh, I came in third, but I could have come in first, but I was having a really good conversation with a guy in second. Like he was very nonchalant about the whole thing, but was doing very well. And again, we weren't allowed to come. So it was kind of like, I heard about it, but wasn't really witnessing it. So, okay, fast forward to junior year. We're like, he's, got to find some plan to start thinking about his future. He's not sure he wants to go back running. I'm like, look, Elijah, you love to run. You were so happy when you were doing it. Just go give it a shot. Go try. It's like, fine. So I sort of push him out the door. And he starts making it takes a while to find his legs, but he starts enjoying it more, kind of finding a groove. His grades start to improve. Yada, yada, yada. There's more to the story. I'll tell you more of the story later. Anyway, fast forward to he does a great cross-country season this past senior fall, and now we're in indoor track season, okay, currently. This is where we are today. And every meet that he's had in the last 8 weeks or however long it's been, 10 weeks, he's PR, has a personal record every single time. He's cutting a few seconds off every single time. And now he says, you know what? I think I'm going to go for my high school indoor track mile record. Now, the mile record at the high school has been 4:41, so 4 minutes, 41 seconds in a mile and for indoor track. And he started out the season at about a 5:02, give or take. So he was convinced he wanted to do it, but he wasn't sure it was going to happen. So he's training and he's PRing every single time. Gets closer and closer and closer. He qualifies for states. He gets going, right? Okay, we come to what's called the last chance meet, last chance invitational. Last chance invitational, literally called that. And it's his last chance to get the PR. He's pretty close, but he's not sure he can get it. Last week, for those of you who live in the Northeast, was a poop show, weather-wise. We had snow, rain. There's two snow days, so he didn't have training then. He also, on top of that, gets a pretty tough chest cold, and he's not running all week. And he's like, I don't know. I don't think I can get it. I'm not going to make it. He's feeling pretty bummed. He's like, I'm just kind of stressed about it. It's also Regents Week here in New York, which means that he's got final exams. So is that on top of all this? Okay, he's like, wishing he could do it, but he's not looking good, right? So the meet is in New York City, which is about 90 miles away from us. We go down to New York City on Sunday night, and he's like, adrenaline crazy. I don't know if I can do it. My heart's in my throat too, because I'm excited and nervous for him. But he's like, I just don't know. Also, by the way, he's got this buddy that runs with him. That they're on the track team together. They have been since 7th grade, and his buddy and he are very close in time. Most of the time, his buddy's been ahead of him, and he trained all the way through COVID. And Elisha my son has since just squeaked out ahead just a little bit, but generally they're pretty on pace with each other. And his buddy was sick the week before, so he was not performing well. Okay. I digress. Cut to, you like my storytelling today? He got to Sunday night. He's the first mid or long distance race, right? So they have they have all the hurdles and they have sprints. And he's in the first heat. So he's in the fastest heat, all the competition. Now he knows he's not going to win probably because he's got competition he knows is faster, but he's like, if I can just get that 440, right? He's sweating bullets. And he and his buddy are in the lanes right next to each other because that's how close they are. Oh my gosh. So the gun goes off. I'm on my feet. All of his teammates are on their feet. We're like this, right? Because everyone's knowing he's going for it. They're both going for it. And everyone starts out really, really fast. And it's like he's in the back because he's like, whoa, why everybody started so fast? So he's out. He tries to bring him from behind. Okay, he starts to make it up. And then his buddy just kind of pulls ahead of him. And it's like, oh, who's going to go? Right? They're doing this thing, right? Like this. 8 laps around the track. And the final lap, they're neck and neck. And I'm like, come on, you can do it. He's got like 10 seconds to go. Oh my God, come on, you can do it. And he crosses the finish line at 4:40.5. And his buddy crosses it at 4:40.77. So they both smashed the school record. It's amazing. They both, so crazy, right? So I'm in tears. His friends on the team are excited. His coach is super excited. His buddy collapses on the floor because he's worked so hard. And he's like, he can barely, as I was going to hug him and squeeze him, he's like, don't hug me. I'm going to throw up on you. Okay. All of this to share with you. It was such an exciting moment. Here's a kid who has every reason to give up. He's been through multiple traumas, major losses, multiple losses. On top of that, he went through COVID like everybody else, right? Got super depressed. More on that story later. But at any rate, and here's a kid who came from behind, decided he was going to do something that was important to him, came in first in his division with his buddy right at his side, and they did it together, and it was amazing. And I'm telling you that because this is an 18-year-old kid about to start his journey to adulthood, right? He's going to graduate high school. He's going on to college. He's got big life ahead. And he's just now really seeing the importance of goals and what he can do to succeed. Now, I'm not telling you this just to brag on my kid, and maybe a little bit because I'm just super proud of him, but more because I want you to know that here's a kid doing this. I see this adults happen all the time with adults. They give up on themselves. I want to give up myself sometimes too. But it doesn't matter what your goal is because 4:40 isn't the fastest mile ever, right? There are kids even in our section. This whole high school record for the outdoor mile is 4:16 for high school. There are kids going to nationals. He's going to states. He's not doing any of that. He might maybe go to states with a relay team. Maybe not. Doesn't matter because that was his goal, right? And he had people who believed in him, and he had a crazy mom in the stands screaming and cheering and driving him and giving him snacks, right? And parents who love him, and brothers who love him, and grandparents who love him, and aunts and uncles who love him, all that stuff. It's got his people. But that goal is not particularly mind-blowing in the world. It is to him, and it is to his buddies, and it is to his parents. And in that moment, he showed incredible determination and leadership for other people who are going to follow behind him, people who are watching him, right? People who believe in him. So all that to say, people are watching you. People believe in you. People are waiting to see what you're going to be up to. And that's what makes you a leader, because you have influence. And with that determination, with that kind of determination, you can accomplish anything you put your mind to. And I really mean that. If it's in your heart, if it's in your soul, you know you can do it. If you know you can make it. If you have evidence to the effect that you can make, that is to say, you have success behind you. And success could be progress, right? Progress is momentum. Momentum is success. Success is more progress, is momentum, is more success. That's how it works. People are watching you. People believe in you. Find that determination yourself when you feel like quitting. You might even have to quit for a while to find it. But find it again, and you can do amazing things. And that is your public service announcement for Tuesday. Cheers, everybody. Have a great week.